everybody. Welcome, welcome. Gather round for our story. Today we're going to talk about Nichelle Nichols and Star Trek. Can we listen?
Hey, you guys, I want you back over here. Come on. Come. Ellie can be up there with Reverend Mary Christina. Everyone else over here by me. Henry, Mark, back up. Come on.
Read?
Ellie's helping read. Thank you. Next time, though. Thank you.
How about I read, you read?
How about Ellie and I read, and next time you and I read?
Let's everyone take a big step back. See, the rug is all the way over here. Ben, Lou, Miriam, right here. Sammy, right here.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for finding your spot. Thank you for focusing on your breath and opening up your ears for the story. It is called To Boldly Go.
It was TV night, the best night, and I could hear the clicking of buttons as Dad searched for the right channel. As the sweet, syrupy goodness of red Kool-Aid splashed into my glass, I knew the real treat was yet to come.
Mom, Dad, and I settled into place, and as the opening began, I followed along out loud. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
The show was Star Trek, and we instantly fell under the spell of watching Captain James T. Kirk and his crew make peace and live in harmony with different life forms across the galaxy. But he wasn't the reason why we watched it.
The reason we watched was to see Lieutenant Uhura perform her duties as the starship's communications officer, hailing frequencies. Open, sir. Do you want me to read that? Okay. Lieutenant Uhura was played by actress Nichelle Nichols, and we burst with pride seeing someone who looked like us standing as an equal to make the future better for everyone. This was important not just for my family, but for all Black people because our reality told a very different story.
When Star Trek first appeared on TV, America whirled in a whirlpool of change.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and other civil rights leaders joined together to inspire people to march peacefully for equality and the rights of Black people.
After Star Trek showed the possibilities of peace among life forms during primetime hours, the nightly news showed the real-life suffering of the marchers endured because of racism. Attacked dogs, fire, horses, jail. People watched as this happened to both children and adults just because of the color of their skin.
Across the country in Hollywood, Nichelle was working to bring Uhura to life. In a time when Black actresses played servants on television, Nichelle had the unique opportunity to work with Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry to create the character Uhura.
Nichelle worked on Uhura's backstory, explaining how she became a communications officer, leading a team of specialists to solve difficult problems.
Nichelle also helped discover Uhura's name. It was derived from the word uhuru, which means freedom in Swahili. For Nichelle, Uhura represented how she saw herself: strong, independent, equal.
Even as a little girl, Nichelle was confident. Her parents had taught Nichelle and her siblings that they could become whatever they wanted, and no one could tell them otherwise. Growing up in a home filled with music, books, and a love for art, Nichelle knew at 5 years old that what she would grow up to be, a performer.
But at age 7, Nichelle became very ill and spent a month in the hospital. When she finally began to recover, Nichelle's doctor told her she needed exercise to regain her strength. Her parents enrolled her in ballet, and she fell in love with it, quickly proving to everyone she was a natural talent.
But even with her talent, she was still reminded that racist people would always try to make black people feel like they were less than white people. Black people cannot dance ballet.
Assemblée,
As-
grand
plie,
jeté,
plie,
plié,
port
vogue
de
bras,
bras,
pirouette, blah, blah. Remembering what her parents taught her made Nichelle determined to prove that this way of thinking was wrong, and she did. Nichelle danced ballet for many, many years.
As she grew older, her love for singing, dancing, and performing brought dazzling opportunities. At 16, she toured with legendary band leader Duke Ellington.
Later, she won a small role in a movie starring many black celebrities who became her role models and lifelong friends. Maya Angelou, Pearl Bailey, Sammy Davis Jr., Sidney Poitier, and more. Soon, Nichelle became a rising star herself. And so when Star Trek began, she felt confident that she belonged wherever her talents took her.
But Hollywood had other ideas. Working on the studio lot, Nichelle experienced the same painful reminders from her childhood, that white people did not treat black people as equals, no matter how talented they were. You don't work here.
Even the Star Trek character she had worked so hard to bring to life became less visible on the show. The guy in the mailroom said to her, "We've been ordered not to give you your fan mail." Nichelle no longer felt strong or confident, and it seemed neither she nor her character would ever be seen as important or equal. She decided there was only one thing she could do. Head held high, she walked into Star Trek producer Gene Roddenberry's office and told him she was quitting the show. "Nichelle, please think about it," he pleaded with her, but Nichelle was sure of her decision.
The next evening, Nichelle appeared at a fundraiser as a special guest. As her eager fans gathered around her, the evening host approached her. "Nichelle, there's someone who would like to meet you." The host explained he is a big fan of Star Trek and Uhura. Turning around, Nichelle locked eyes with the fan. "Is this happening?" She thought to herself. Was it really him?
Who could it be? Who could that surprise guest be? Standing before her was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. "Yes," he said, "I am that fan."
As Dr. King explained how Star Trek was the only show he and his wife allowed their children to stay up late to watch, the gravity of her decision to leave the show brought Nichelle back to reality. "Thank you, Dr. King," she replied, "but I plan to leave Star Trek." Dr. King was shocked. "Don't you realize how important your character is?"
Nichelle's head swirled with all the reasons she had to quit the show, but she continued to listen to Dr. King. "You have opened a door that must not be allowed to close," he said. "Don't you see that you're not just a role model for black children? You're important for people who don't look like us. For the first time, the world sees us as we should be seen, as equals, as intelligent people."
Nichelle thought about all the black people enduring racism every day of their lives just like she was. Her world tilled as she realized just how important she was to the show. Her persistence on Star Trek was history in the making. Perhaps, Nichelle thought, Uhura is a symbol of hope, a role model. She knew what she needed to do.
What do you think she's gonna do?
Rejoin the show.
Rejoin the show. When the Star Trek crew returned the next season, Lieutenant Uhura reported for duty on the Starship Enterprise. Yay! And like the civil rights movement, well, something slowly began to change. Many things also just stayed the same. Her lines were still cut. Uhura's character was never fully developed the way Nichelle had imagined she could be. But she never forgot what her presence meant to the lives of the people who looked like her. And neither did they.
Hailing frequencies open, sir.
For over 50 years, millions of Nichelle's fans have watched Star Trek and continue to dream about the places and spaces they dare to envision themselves in, to boldly go, to make the future better for everyone. The end. Thank you for listening.